It's been over 30 years since the indomitable Rene Llewellyn passed away. She lived in the Middleburg area from the time she arrived from England in 1945 and was a constant force for good in her adopted country. Born in the central London district of Primrose Hill during the Edwardian era, Irene Eleanor Franks was the second child of Florence and Arthur Franks, a draper by profession. Rene and her sister Iris were social debutantes presented at court to King George V and Queen Mary. Rene married Eric Burt in 1929, and they had a child named Kenneth a few years later. Rene threw herself into charitable work with other young mothers among her British high society friends. She and Eric were divorced shortly before the Second World War. During the conflict, Rene volunteered to drive vans to transport people on the Isle of Wight and then relocated to Dorset to escape the bombing. Rene met US Army Colonel Paul Llewellyn, some 20 years her senior, while he was stationed in the UK during the war. He had been president of the Interstate Iron and Steel Corporation of Chicago and owned a 500-acre horse and livestock farm in Rectortown, Virginia, named Penny Bryn, Welsh for hilltop. They were married in 1945, and on VE Day, the family set sail to New York on a troop transport ship, the USS Marine Fox. In Rectortown, Rene again became involved in charitable work. She was secretary of the Ladies' Guild at her local church, organised horse shows and many other Middleburg events. Devoutly religious, she changed churches when they decided to add air conditioning instead of supporting the poor. In 1955, Paul died of a heart attack while driving. She contacted Charlotte Noland at Foxcroft School, who asked Rene to become the school librarian. When Rene protested that she knew nothing about being a librarian, the equally forthright Miss Charlotte remarked, "You can learn, can't you?" Ultimately, Rene sold Penny Bryn and bought a stone cottage in Benton on Snake Hill Road. Even though she never hunted, she nevertheless served as secretary of the Middleburg Hunt. Inspired by the fish movement that began in England, in 1970 Rene established Middleburg Fish to provide assistance to poorer members of the community. In the late 1970s, Rene became aware of the appalling conditions of the tenant houses on Windy Hill Lane in Middleburg. No running water, no inside toilets, dirt floors, unheated buildings, a rather dilapidated community. She brought one of her bridge ladies and fellow parishioner, Mrs. Gladys Tartier, and she wrote a check for $10,000 on the spot. It was the beginning of the Windy Hill Foundation, which went on to fully rehabilitate Windy Hill and successfully develop other affordable area homes. Its vital mission continues unabated today. In 1995, Llewellyn Village Apartments, a 16-unit building, was opened at Windy Hill in Rene's honour. She also assisted with a loose federation of the churches in Middleburg called Concerned Christians, which would later go on to form the food bank 7 Loaves. Rene and Paul are buried in Ivy Hill Cemetery, Upperville.